What up, everyone? Welcome to Titans Tube. We're talking about the big win yesterday. Titans over Packers 47-25 at home. A big statement win.
Heck yeah.
Man, a lot of things to be excited about. A lot of good points from this game to take away, to thrive, to, remember and think about and thrive on.
Oh, yeah.
What a game.
This is a memorable game. A total statement game. Like, the Titans are playing some football this year.
That is a fact. We are playing football.
We are playing good football. I don't know what we were playing last year, but it only won us 3 games and 2 games the year before that. But now we have 5 wins, equaling our win total from the last 2 years combined. We are playing good football. We're making a turnaround, it looks like.
Our offense is playing some of the most dynamic offensive game production that the Titans have ever had, that we've ever seen. 47 points was tied for the most points that we've ever put up at home. That makes 3 straight games that we've had over 35 points, which has never been done before in Titans history.
Amazing.
Like, what are we witnessing right now? Crazy good offense.
This is unprecedented stuff we're seeing, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Even the great Titans teams of old with McNair and Eddie George, that was a lot of great defenses and solid running game. But as far as airing it out, Aaron McNair, everyone respects what Aaron McNair did. But Marcus Mariota is doing things still that we have not seen before ever in a Titans uniform, and it's extremely exciting. Crazy to see his passing numbers and him being in the top of the league now in the statistical category. And who ever heard of a sophomore slump? Because Marcus Mariota is not experiencing that.
Not at all. He just tied Warren Moon's record, 6 consecutive games with at least 2 touchdowns passing. He also has the most 4-touchdown games of any QB in the first 22 games of their career. That's incredible.
It's incredible. This is some special stuff we're seeing, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as we are. We could be seeing the makings of Mariota taking that next step that we were all hoping he would take this year. In the last 6 games, he's looked like an elite quarterback in the league, and if he can keep this up, if he's indeed taking that next step, then man, the future looks bright.
It's crazy. I saw today on news articles, ESPN, NFL, people starting to throw him saying he should be involved in the MVP conversation. He should be considered as an MVP candidate.
That's amazing.
Currently he has the most touchdowns thrown in the AFC. I know he's played an extra game than everybody because we haven't had our bye week, but still, this is stuff we're not used to seeing from a Titans offense.
Yeah.
So don't take it for granted. But let's get more into the game that we just witnessed, the bashing of the perennial powerhouse Green Bay Packers and the elite quarterback they have, Aaron Rodgers.
Before the season, looking at the schedule, you would think, Green Bay at home, chalk that up as a loss. But man, no, I don't know. Hardly anyone saw this coming, even though Green Bay is kind of on a downslide a little bit. But they were not getting blown out. Like, they were losing close games the last couple weeks, but not like this. Like, we established our dominance and asserted our will against this team.
I think it was obvious we came out trying to make this game. We knew it was good. It could be a statement game. Playing the Packers at home. I know the Packers haven't been as strong this season especially, but over the past few years. But they're still, they've been a powerhouse for the last, pretty much 8 to 10 years, ever since Aaron Rodgers kind of came on. And they still have dynamic playmakers across the board. I know they dealt with some injuries, but I feel like the team really took this as, this is a game where we can make a statement. We're coming on strong in all areas, offense, defense. And, I think they got the statement across to the rest of the NFL that we're for real. And we're not just for real this season, but we're going to be for real for the next, years to come.
Our young talent is what's turning it around. I guess besides Delaney Walker, DeMarco Murray's kind of getting up there. He's almost 30 years old. But, we have a young team. We are putting ourselves on the map with this win for sure.
We have an identity. We have a powerhouse identity with a ever-evolving, more dynamic offense in the run game and the pass game.
It took a little while to get going. Our offense had some struggles.
Pains.
We had some growing pains for sure, but I think the staff is starting to learn more about the personnel, their strengths. We're starting to play into those strengths. I thought the game plan going into this game was beautiful. Say what you will about the onside kick to start the game. I know we're going for unpredictability and showing that, hey, we're we could do anything at any time, and we're here to be aggressive and win the football game. And I like the mentality, but that could have very easily backfired and caused another slow start that our team's been suffering in a few games this year. But do you want to go ahead and go to the breakdowns?
Yeah, just wanted to say real quick. I know we're all hyped about the win and the big, but we're gonna keep it in perspective. I know we've been talking about how good we played and about how good we can be over the next few years and how good Mariota is, but I don't want to have the same kind of opposite knee-jerk reaction of a positive knee-jerk reaction as some people did when we were losing early on, saying we should bench Mariota, fire Malarkey. So keep it in perspective. We're still going to have growing pains going forward. We're still a young team. This is only Marcus's second season. He's still going to have bad games. So it's not like everything's figured out all of a sudden and we have a Super Bowl caliber team. We're not that. And I don't think either of us think that. But we are taking steps in the right direction.
Yeah, and we're in the midst of a tear right now, so that's something to be super excited about. I mean, there's reason for some big-time optimism.
I just know with us, we don't get too down when we lose, and so I don't want to, overcompensate and get too up when we win. But we are hyped about this win.
Yeah.
Don't want to.
What you're saying is very controlled. If the camera was turned off, we'd be jumping off the walls and the ceilings right now. But we got to keep.
I've been focusing my zen, just trying to keep it calm, trying to inhale this Titans greatness that I'm witnessing, and I wanted to keep going. Yeah, but let's go straight into the game. Okay. What did you think? Just quick overall thoughts.
I mean, quick overall thoughts.
You have 15 seconds.
Everything.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's okay. Well, we kid here. Everything looked like it was executed to perfection, and especially on offense. I mean, the defense. I guess I can go ahead real quick about the defense. I mean, it looks like our defense has been starting to get exposed a little bit the past couple of weeks through the passing game. We have faced some upper-tier quarterbacks in Phillip Rivers and probably future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers, I think he's still in his prime. He's still got a couple years.
Notice how you said future Hall of Fame Aaron Rodgers, but you did not put future Hall of Famer in front of Phillip Rivers.
Well,
just wanted to throw that out.
Aaron Rodgers is more surefire. He's more surefire.
Keep going.
But I think Phillip will get there too. But these upper tier quarterbacks have been shredding the secondary a little bit. Parrish Cox struggled, unfortunately. I know he did get that interception with a desperation Rodgers pass towards the end of the game, but he was missing tackles. He wasn't in on coverage. He was getting picked on by Aaron Rodgers. He did break up a few passes, a few key passes. I know, especially one in the end zone that was good. So he's just getting picked on, the poor guy, and he's playing hard. He's trying his best, but he does give up a lot of plays. So that was disappointing to see. Kind of whenever their offense started clicking, they were able to go up and down the field. But still, it didn't matter because our offense could not be stopped in this game. I mean, what was it? Our first 4 drives went for touchdowns?
Our first punt didn't come until 2:20 left in the second quarter. That's incredible. And
ballin'.
They muffed that punt, and we got right back and scored.
Yeah, and then we scored again. So it didn't really hurt us at all.
Yeah,
it's like Mariota completing a long pass down the field or something. But
past seasons, I'm used to like 4 or 5 punts in the first half. So, man, not to...
35 points in the first half?
Yeah, 21... We had 21-0 at the end of the first quarter. This is stuff we haven't seen. I thought 27-0 against the Jags at home at halftime was kind of our ceiling. No, we trounced that with 35 to.
It was 35 to 16
at halftime.
Even when the Packers scored their second touchdown, they missed the extra point. So things were going our way. The officiating was bad for the most part, and it seemed even worse because Triplett, I think it was Jeff Triplett, every time there was a flag thrown, the officials had to congregate for 5 minutes and camp out and talk about what in the world is going on, and then Jeff Triplett would come out and fumble over sentences and words, and it was just seemed poorly managed by the officials. But the Packers were shooting themselves in the foot, gave us some big penalties that allowed us to convert first downs. So Packers didn't play their best game, of course, but that should not take away what our offense was able to do in this game. DeMarco Murray, obviously, his huge run at the beginning was a huge statement to start the game.
Against the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL, came out, punched him right in the face.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed? Did you just notice how many times they had players going down for injury? I don't know if that's due to them or just circumstance and how they just happen to get injured, or if it's more of like a theme for the style of football that we play, our smash mouth physical style, and they kind of roughed him up a little bit. I mean, it seemed like they had 4 or 5 players have to go through an injury timeout. But yeah, we just asserted our will from the get-go. We'll probably talk about this more later, but I think everybody on the offense should get a game ball, except for Taylor Lewan, because he got himself ejected from the game.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? What were your thoughts?
Well, originally when I saw it was funny. So I was sitting up in the nosebleeds in the Packers section. I literally felt like I was at Lambeau. So many Packers fans up there.
Should throw that out there. There was tons of Packers
especially
fans.
up in the nosebleeds. Like I was the only Titans fan. Me and Amy. But so I couldn't see what happened. I did see the guy come to the line and hit Mariota. And right when that happened and the scuffle started ensuing, I was like, Taylor Lewan's getting a penalty right here. Like that's guaranteed. Saw the flag there. I bet that's on Lewan. And I'm not mad about that. And in fact, I've heard several analysts and Titans reporters say that they like Lewan coming in and, pretty much stepping up for his QB. Not going to let the defense shove him around, not take cheap shots on him. So I didn't mind the penalty. At first, I thought it was warranted. Like, you can't let someone take cheap shots on your QB, just come to the line like that. Can't let the game get out of hands. And then when I saw that he got ejected for hitting a ref, from my view, I could not see what happened. So I had no idea what happened.
It was subtle from the stands.
I assumed there was some kind of pile where the ref got in the way. Lewan probably didn't think it was a ref. He probably thought it was another player and hit his hand away. And I kind of, after seeing the replay, I still couldn't get a clear view, but that's kind of what it looked like. Did you ever see it?
I did see a view that was pretty good where the ref had kind of put his hand on Lewan. He wasn't shoving him or anything, and Lewan brushed it off, and the official put his hand on him again, and he more aggressively shoved it off. So I think he had to have known that was a referee in front of him. I don't know if he made eye contact with the ref at all, but he aggressively shoved him away, and it wasn't incredibly malicious or anything, but there is a rule where you can't make contact with an official like that, and that is grounds for ejection, unfortunately. And I mean, like you were saying, I love the attitude and mentality of having your quarterbacks back and getting in the defense's face and being like, hey, you are not treating our franchise quarterback like that. Do not mess with him like that. I will destroy you this game if you pull that crap again. But man, you can't be one of our best players on the team and get yourself ejected like that.
One of the best tackles in the NFL.
Yeah, and this has been an ongoing issue in the past, and I don't know how this gets corrected if it already hasn't been, because we've already seen it potentially cost us a game this year against Oakland in the 3rd game of the season whenever he got the late personal foul, whenever we were 3 yards away from tying it up in the final minute. I mean, if we get to the playoffs this year or future years and there's a crucial game and it's coming down to the wire, we're making a game-winning drive, and Lewan commits a penalty like this again, it's going to send everybody going crazy. He's got to. When is the learning point? When is he going to finally get over the hump and control his emotions, and so it doesn't cost us? In this game, it didn't cost us. Dennis Kelly came in and played a fine game. I don't even think he had a penalty against him at all. And I think we ended up converting a first down, and we went ahead and scored a touchdown on that same drive after the personal foul. Did. So we completely recovered from the lack of Taylor Lewan being on the field. But it's just discouraging to see this happening time and again. And again, to repeat, I love the attitude, and I love him having Mariota's back and him taking it personally when someone takes a cheap shot on Mariota. But it's got to be a little bit more controlled. And I mean, I feel like he was controlled overall, and he was just talking smack to the other guys, but just the fact that he touched the official was what got him ejected. It's not like he was shoving or trying to punch a player.
Yeah, I'm actually not really on the same page as you on this one.
Okay.
I disagree. I'm actually, after I've seen him more, I thought the refs should have handled it a little bit better. I know the rule says you can't, touch a ref in that situation, but I still feel like there needs to be some kind of on-field judgment for if that arises, because Taylor Lewan was not making a malicious attack or coming after the ref. He was in the heat of the moment and kind of brushed off his hands. Aggressively, yes, but maliciously, violently, no. And I kind of feel like this is just if we want Lewan, if we want the best tackle in the NFL, this is just kind of who we're going to have to deal with. That's how he plays. He plays this aggressive smash mouth, like in your face. He's going to get in the opponent's face, knock him on his butt every single time down. And that's going to, that translates over to his whole life pretty much is what we're seeing on the field. After the whistle blows, he's still fired up, and I think that's just part of who he is and how he plays. I know a lot of guys on Titans Talkback, if you listen to that, were kind of saying the same thing, which is kind of swayed my opinion, but they were saying like, that's what we're gonna have to deal with having the top right tackle in the NFL. We can't really change his attitude because that'll change how he plays. If we like Taylor Lewan, we're just gonna have to put up with these penalties from time to time, and hopefully he kind of corrals it in when there's big moments like the Raiders game, something like that. But this one, I don't see it as big of a deal.
I just don't like it still. I like his attitude, but when it comes to the point of him hurting the team, literally by taking himself out of the game, costing us penalty yardage, hopefully something will click for him, because I don't want this to continue to happen if he's going to do this every time he has to stand up for his quarterback, I guess.
Which he did. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he stood up for his quarterback. I thought the ref thing was where it got picky, and obviously he ended up getting ejected. But
rules are rules. You can't contact an official like that.
Yeah. I don't
know.
Let's move on from that. We've talked about Taylor Lewan for freaking 5 minutes now. 10 minutes. Okay, let's get on to the rest of the offense.
Okay.
Because Dennis Kelly did come in, and we did not miss a beat. I know we didn't have near as many rushing yards after that. Obviously, majority came on that 75-yard run from DeMarco Murray to start the game off.
Beautiful.
But passing game turned it on after that. Marcus Mariota outplayed his idol, Aaron Rodgers. Can I say that? Yeah, Aaron Rodgers had a pretty good statistical day, 371 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the 2 interceptions were kind of fluky, the Hail Mary and then the desperation throw. But Marcus Mariota, almost 300 yards. I wish he had gotten the 300 yards, 295. He needed one more completion, 4 touchdowns, almost a perfect passer rating. And not the throws were just incredible all day. Accurate, deep throw. He was 13 of 16 throwing outside the numbers, which I feel like people have really been kind of picking at him this year, that his accuracy definitely drops, when throwing 20 yards down the field and also throwing outside the numbers. Well, he did not show that this game. He was on fire. Yeah. And extremely accurate.
Deep passes. He's been hitting the deep passes now. Hit Rashard Matthews. Man, shout out Rashard Matthews, getting his 6th touchdown in 6 games.
Yeah.
Consistent, ballin' receiver. And, man, and I think this might be the best game that I've seen Delanie Walker play in a Titans uniform. He's topped 100 yards before. He's had more than 1 touchdown in a game, I believe. I think he's had 1 or 2 times in the past for us. But, man, he was a man among boys today. He was breaking tackles. I think it was the first quarter. By the way, in the first quarter, he had 98 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter alone. He took over the game.
We had 230 yards of offense in the first quarter. DeMarco Murray had over 80 yards rushing. Crazy production.
Yeah, and I was going to say, in one of Delanie Walker's plays, his stiff arm and throwing down, I think it was Clinton Dix. Delanie Walker got the last on that play.
I wonder if he shut him down. Was
in your face. I'm laughing. He slammed him to the ground, and it was a beautiful sight to behold. Delanie Walker took over. And the fact that I wanted to make this point, Mariota is putting up these passing numbers with our mediocre, below average receiving core. This passing offense has been taking strides the last 5-6 games. They are clicking. We're hitting passes deep. These average receivers, particularly, I guess, Tajay Sharp and Rashard Matthews, are balling out for us. And they aren't the fastest, most skilled receivers in the NFL, but they are reliable. They don't drop passes. Shout out to our receivers. They're not dropping passes when they're getting open and the ball's thrown to them. They are making the catches, making the plays.
They're very efficient.
Being in the right spots where Mariota's wanting them to be. And, they're totally efficient. I mean,
our chemistry is definitely coming along from earlier in the year. I think Mariota is definitely starting to develop some of that with his receivers. I mean, we had 5 receiving touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. One of them
Tajay Sharp, welcome to the NFL, bro. Getting your first touchdown reception.
Shout out Tajay. Too bad you had a completely harmless celebration, so we got a 15-yard penalty on your first career touchdown. That sucks. But the NFL is no fun, so whenever you score a touchdown, just don't have as much fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think our run game is really benefiting for how well. I mean, our pass game is really benefiting from how well our run game started the season. Oh, yeah. And now the pass game is starting to complement the run game or / overtake it in terms of production and points.
Yeah. This especially the passing offense. It's been beautiful to watch this evolve over the season. We've just been getting better and better week to week. It's crazy. And wonderful to see this happen.
I mean, we were pretty much this good a week ago at San Diego. You just add in the 3 turnovers. Mm-hmm. And then this week we came out. Marcus played a perfect game. No mistakes, no turnovers.
We got 3 turnovers from the Packers.
When did we ever win the turnover battle?
Not often, but we did this game. And it certainly helped. I know a couple. The Hail Mary before halftime, I mean, you could almost take that out. I mean, that was a meaningless turnover that didn't help either team really. But, let's see, what was I going to say? Yeah, DeMarco Murray trying to take over Marcus Mariota's starting job at QB, throwing that touchdown pass to Delaney Walker. But even though he was 1 for 1 for 10 yards and a touchdown, Marcus Mariota still had a better passer rating than him, and he threw 26 passes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I know the QBR is different, but passer rating, Marcus Mariota still had the best one. And we haven't seen the halfback pass yet, but we saw a lot of exoticness from the coaches in the game plan. I mean, we got an onside kick to start the game. We got that DeMarco Murray halfback pass. We had that play we've run a couple times with that weird formation with splitting out like 2 offensive linemen and throwing a super quick screen. Remember to Kendall Wright? It got like 2.
Like a wide receiver screen?
Yeah, and it got like 2 yards. I've never even seen that formation in my life, but we've run it a couple times this year, but we saw some of that. Trying to think of any more like exotic weirdness. We're doing like the fake handoff, pitch out to a running back going the other direction. I think we're starting to finally see what Mike Mularkey had envisioned for this offense coming to fruition. I mean, shout out to Mike Mularkey and all the doubters that he had. This is turning out to be great for Marcus Mariota's progression and adapting to the NFL, and he's playing great under this system right now.
It's funny to see our Twitter feed, and all the comments. The day after a win like this, as opposed to the day after a loss to the Raiders or something, where people are telling us to fire Mularkey and he's stymieing Marcus Mariota's growth, and now everyone's like, "Hey, Mularkey and LeBeau and Robisky, they're all geniuses, man."
Yeah.
I don't know if they're geniuses or not, but we got the job done on Sunday.
Yeah, we are
looking very good.
We are getting that job done. Definitely. 446 total yards. Lost the time of possession battle by like a minute, but hey, we were like scoring super quick, so I'm not going to hold that against us.
You got to think about it. Our first play from scrimmage went for 75 yards. And on the muff punt, that possession lasted 2 plays, touchdown to Kendall Wright. So we didn't need to win time of possession.
Yeah,
we still won the game.
We were throwing up points faster than.
Pretty much we've hit all the offense, just across the board, played incredible from passing to rushing to offensive line blocking. Dennis Kelly stepped in. Props to you, man. Yeah. Game ball to you. Game ball to Tajay Sharp, catching his first touchdown.
Game ball to Dennis Kelly.
Game ball to Dennis Kelly, man. Well. Think about it. If we didn't trade DGB for him, who would step in that to fill that role now? Man.
John Robinson looking like a freaking genius.
Yeah.
Love it.
As for the defense, I do want to say it. Pass rush in the first quarter came out. That's what I feel like we've been missing, especially early on in the season. I feel like I mentioned it a lot in the podcast, is that we would not get enough pressure on the QB early on in the game. We'd start sending the pressure later. This time we went right after Rodgers, and I don't know if it was their kind of offensive game plan that also complemented our pass rush and helped it out. But we got 2 sacks in the first quarter. Several hits. I think they adjusted from that, going to a more short and quick passing game after that, which is when their offense really started to get going. But they only
did not stop that.
They had like 30 yards of offense in the first quarter compared to our 230 That is insane. So
huge props to the defense too for forcing them on a 3-and-out after the failed onside kick to start the game, because that could have swung the momentum in the complete opposite direction. We could have had a slow start, but it didn't really hurt us at all.
We started out the game giving Aaron Rodgers a short field, and I'm like, this is not good. But yeah, our defense held him to a 3-and-out, and then the big play from Murray, and that was pretty much how the day went.
That was all she wrote from there. Nice, but yeah, our defense. Another, I feel like, bend but don't break kind of a game. Aaron Rodgers, he's gonna get his yards. He's gonna put up his stats and score some points. You just gotta stick with what you do best and try to keep pace with him. And I mean, we jumped out. I don't know how many times Rodgers has had to play catch up after the first quarter, but he certainly tried to this game, and I think the Packers are kind of just overwhelmed Aaron Rodgers in that offense and forcing him to do everything for that offense. So, I mean, yeah, the Packers are kind of in shambles, but still the defense holding Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers offense to 25 points, I would honestly take that. I would take that in any given week.
I would take it too. I mean, people are going to point to he threw for almost 400 yards against us, but come on. They were down 21-0 in the first quarter. The next 3 quarters, all they're going to do is throw the ball, and all we're going to be doing is trying not to give up a big play, so kind of playing a little kind of prevent defenses. So he's going to get the underneath routes and stuff, which is what they did. I know Devontae Adams broke a few big tackles here and there, but we didn't give up any crazy big touchdown plays, which they're capable of, and that gave us the win. So yeah, he ended up racking up a ton of yards, but they were down by so much. That was literally all they had to do. So I'm not really concerned as much with that. Kind of same thing when we were playing the Jags and we were up 27-0. Blake Bortles ended up throwing for almost 400 yards, like 350 yards or something, 330 yards.
Yeah.
So it looks bad. You look at just the QB stat, and you're like, oh my gosh, Aaron Rodgers torched us for almost 400 yards. But if you watched the game, you knew that wasn't the case, that they were in kind of panic desperation mode and were just throwing the ball all over the field. Also, they have no running game, so...
Yeah, that definitely helped. We didn't have to worry about that from the get-go.
But, man, we sacked him 5 times. I didn't realize that. A rack with 2 sacks.
Getting the sack pose.
Trying to get up to that lead in the NFL. He's getting pretty close now.
He's got 9 so far. We got to pause. I have got to go pee right now. Defense had some great moments, and I think we need to give a shout-out to... rookie Kevin Byard coming in and making plays for us. He's turning out to be an excellent pick. I think he is proving that he is going to be the next starting free safety for this team. He might already be taking over that job from Rashad Johnson by the end of the year.
Well, he's already starting, so he already has that.
He started over Rashad Johnson?
Yeah, boy.
Even after Rashad's back from injury?
Yeah.
Man, okay. Good. That dude is active.
Actually, I'm not positive on that, but I think he is.
But he's proving to be a sure tackler. He's making plays.
He led our team in tackles again.
Again, for the second game in a row.
And he also had the sack.
His first career sack. Way to go, Kevin Byard. Looking good so far. So it's good to see him making plays. Good to see our young
Byard jersey.
Yeah,
Give me a Kevin Byard jersey.
They need to start making those because he's looking to be the real deal. What else good happened with our defense to yesterday?
I think that's about all I got to say, man. Honestly.
Just a sound performance overall. Even though, I mean, the Packers were battling back. I think they got it to as close as 35-22. Looked like the Titans could, start to let up a comeback that we've seen so many times. But this is something of a different element to this Titans organization this year, is that we're holding on to our leads and we're keep piling on the points whenever it looks like our defense is going to let it, slip away a little bit. But yeah, Mariota leading us to more points, and we've seen this before. I mean, what was it? There was another game this year. I guess Jacksonville. Whenever we had a huge lead, Jacksonville came out second half, scored a touchdown immediately, and then we responded in that game with another touchdown of our own, and that's just a killer for the opponent whenever you're trying to make a comeback and then immediately the other team responds like that. So excellent to see our team, holding on to our leads. And on the flip side, also coming back whenever we're getting down. We've seen that a lot this year. So the resiliency and the toughness that our team has showed is just another thing that we've seen in this game. For
spot on.
Dope. Special teams, I think we finally won the special teams battle. We got a fumble recovery. LaShawn Sims got his second fumble recovery this season on special teams. He's all over those muff
we
punts.
Drafted him.
Yeah. I mean,
that's muff punts.
That's good. He's got a nose for the ball. You gotta track it down, and he's done that. Ryan Suckup, 51-yard field goal, and he hit another field goal.
He did.
Good kicking performance.
The 50-yarder was huge because that made it an official three-possession game, right?
Yeah, it went from 16-point lead to 19.
I don't want to, especially with how bad kickers have been performing this year, don't want to overlook the play of Ryan Suckup.
Mm-hmm.
Solid performance Sunday.
For real, because when he made that 51-yard field goal to put us up by 3 possessions, it was a 4th and 1, and I think a lot of fans and probably players were hoping...
I saw DeMarco on the field wanting to go for it. DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, himself, I wanted to go for it, and when I saw Suckup coming on, I was like, Suckup, you have to make this. Pressure's on. And we could probably get this yard, and I felt a lot better after he made that kick. But another good punting game from Brett Kern. The Packers missed an extra point, so our special teams outplayed theirs.
Special teams, that's where we really, took over the game right there. Actually, the muff punt was huge. Well, I will say that.
Yeah, big time. Overall, just what about coaching and anything you want to say about that? The game plan.
I feel like we hit on that in the offense already.
Yeah, we did. The game plan was
beautiful. The defense,
beautiful.
pass rush.
Yeah, it was great. Just such a promising, good, exciting win, and it puts us at 5-5 and really in position to make a run here at this thing at the end. Let's get this AFC South thing under control. I think a lot of people are going to look at the Titans after this game and point to us as probably the best team in this division because the Texans are the least impressive 6-3 team. Colts aren't good this year. We still have to get over that hump, and the Jags turned out to be the Jags again this year.
I think you were just looking at taking in the eyeball test. I think no one can doubt that the Titans look the best. Definitely, kind of past that eyeball inspection of, wow, this team is a legitimate threat to the rest of the teams in the NFL, not just the AFC South alone.
Yeah, I think you talked about this too yesterday, how I think the Titans are turning into one of the more dangerous and hottest teams right now. If the other opponents looking at their schedule and they see the Titans, they don't want to play us. I don't think there's many teams that are looking at us like, oh, good, the Titans are coming up. We can get this.
I mean, what defense would want to play this offense right now? We've just put up over 35 points in 3 straight games, coming off 47, dominating the number 1 rush defense in the NFL. I know they were missing Clay Matthews, but it doesn't matter. We torched them on the ground and through the air, and we've been doing that. This might be the most dangerous team in the NFL right now.
Offensively, at least.
Yeah, offensively. I do not see any team looking at the Titans on their schedule being like, oh, yeah, can't wait to play the Titans. No, they are scared. Indy better be scared this weekend. Chicago better be trembling.
They should already be trembling 2 weeks away.
Yes, especially with how terrible Jay Cutler played this past weekend in Jameis.
And Alshon Jeffrey's now out because he took some drugs.
Yeah.
But that's in 2 weeks anyway. But oh man, good stuff. It feels good to be a Titans fan right now. Embrace the moment. Enjoy this moment because we don't know how long this is going to last. But hopefully we can improve even more off of this.
But even with all this hype, it's still a long road to get to the playoffs, mainly because of our losses in the division. So we got some big stretch of games coming up. We still got to play the Colts, still got to play the Jags, still got to play the Texans all again. We have to win all of those games. 5. Well, how many games we got left? What do we know?
6. We've played 10. We got 6 more.
6, and we only have 2 home games left, so 4 of those are away. We're going to find out what this team is really made of in this last stretch of the season. If we want to be a playoff contender this year, we're going to have to win some away games. If we want to can carry this into the next years, we got tough challenges ahead. Tough road games playing at Kansas City. Going to go play Denver at home. So, we're hyping this team up now at 5-5 with the dynamic offense, but we got the hardest test ahead of us. It's
true. And I mean, we're on the upswing at a 5-5 team. It's not like we've struggled down to 5-5. We are on the up and up in 5-5. There's a big difference. I think we're playing better right now than what our record indicates.
Exactly. Same as the Texans are playing worse than their record indicates. Come on, Brock didn't even throw for 100 yards and they won the game. That's how bad the Jags are.
They're winning with 99 passing yards. Why? Why? How? They've got to start losing games eventually. Like how do they keep winning? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. We got to take care of our own business in these upcoming games.
We do. I think we're a team now to where if we, especially on offense, we know that we know what we're capable of doing against any defense in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we take care of business, we can play our style. We can do our thing. We don't have to dictate what the other team's doing. We can come out and torch them.
And I think
pound them.
The way our style of football is playing our way, a smash mouth, run first, hit you hard team late in December and possibly January is a kind of style that other teams don't want to face this late in the year.
Exactly.
It's the kind of style that kills other teams.
Teams are starting to get more injured, kind of worn down. Like, this is definitely not a team you want to play late in the season when your line is starting to get beat up. And then, here comes the Titans and DeMarco Murray and their smash mouth offense. Just going to punch you in the gut a little more. Punch you in that sore spot right up under your ribs.
Yeah. Make some bruises under there.
Yeah, bruises. Well, that's about all I have to say on the game, honestly.
Yeah. Shoot.
We're
celebrating.
Yeah, I don't want to take it for granted by any means. Huge win. Maybe the biggest win. I mean, definitely in the past 3 years, I would say. Just playing a team like the Packers.
High-profile team. Yeah. But
elite quarterback, dynamic wide receiver trio. I mean, they still had Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams. Who
put up ridiculous receiving numbers, by the way.
But our offense is good enough to we can survive days like this where they have two receivers go for over 120 yards and Rodgers throw for almost 400, and we still almost doubled their score.
Yeah, that's
it's insane,
crazy. When Mariota, this team totally goes as Mariota goes. He didn't turn the ball over, and we dominated. That kind of should be the highlights, I think. When Mariota turns the ball over, it's going to be closer. It's harder for us to overcome those mistakes, but man, whenever Mariota's on point and taking care of the ball, we are definitely going to be in games, and especially in some games like these, we're going to win with ease.
When he turns the ball over, the games are close. When he doesn't, we've been blowing teams out.
Imagine that.
Yeah, weird.
Thanks for making my point seem childish.
What do you mean? I was just emphasizing.
When Mariota plays good, we're good. When he doesn't, we're bad.
No, I was just saying. I was more saying that we haven't been getting blown out in any games that he has these turnovers. Two of his turnovers against the Chargers went for points, and we still only lost by a touchdown. We were right there at the end of the game. And so, when these mistakes don't happen, look what we do. We blow out teams like the Jags, the Dolphins, the Packers. So
the Browns, really, even though they made it a 2-point game by the time that...
we have yet... with all the bad turnovers Mariota's had, we have yet to be out of a game in the fourth quarter.
Or any time.
Yeah.
We've never been out of a game.
Our biggest loss, I guess, was to Minnesota, which even then we were close to a comeback.
Yeah.
That felt like we could turn it around, but...
Yeah. Well, either way, I mean, we are a team on the rise. We are peaking at the right time, and we can't suffer a setback because this is the most important time of year, late November and into December. We want to make that late push for the division. So, man, we got to keep your fingers crossed, knock on wood, do all your superstitious activities so that this team can continue playing at this high level.
Let's take care of business the rest of the year.
Yeah.
How about that? Let's push for these playoffs.
Why not?
I think they call that a playoff push.
That is literally what they call it.
Weird. Let's do it.
Oh, man. So much to be happy about and excited about. So much to talk about. If you guys want to keep talking, we probably missed something. We just kind of rambled off our thoughts in our brains. Leave a comment as usual. Let's talk some Titans football. Tell us how excited you are.
Yeah, come on. Get hyped. We're hyped.
And if you're a fan of another team, tell us if you would be afraid to play the Titans. Because I bet the answer is yes right now. Yeah.
I bet it is.
And any Colts fans? Any confident Colts fans? Probably, since they've won 10 straight games against us. But we've got another chance to turn the tide. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll see you later.
Thanks for tuning in.